My name is Couchcoop, and we're going to have a look at RoboCop collateral damage. It's not called that, it's called unfinished business. Robo trivia. Do you know where that line is from within the film series? I do, because I had to force myself through RoboCop 3 last night. Don't ask. Has this game got loads of guns, action, slow down, and killing in it? I'm glad you brought that up. Yes is the short answer. Released in July of 2025, and yes, it would have 100% got a nod in my top single player list that year. This is a standalone piece of software. You do not need Rogue City to play this, which is just fantastic news.
An unauthorized individual has been detected. Please return to your residence. Any persons.
You rock up to what appears to be a Democrat-run city. You're in this OmniTower. It very much feels like Mega City 1, feels like that Dredd film. I love that angle. When I'm referring to that Dredd film, I am talking about the Alex Garland masterpiece and not that Stallone shower of shite. It wasn't a shower of shite. I think Demolition Man was the better film. It had Sandra Bullock in a very tight pair of trousers in it, and they predicted a lot of online censorship that we see nowadays in the UK. Rogue City, in case you're interested, was reviewed on the channel last year. It got nearly 17 views. I will link, maybe we can get that up to 20. If you're familiar with that first game, that base game, you'll know that those icons down on the bottom right, your specials essentially are kind of earned through the campaign, and then you sort of reach that final form. In this, you're just given all of it early doors. I'm talking about that dash, I'm talking about the slowdown, even a blinding dart, which comes in well handy. And the dash is only forward, so only towards the danger. They have also included this rebound mechanic. Certain items within a shooting area will be highlighted as something that you can shoot at that will ping that bullet ricochet rather into the enemy. They're quite cool, they're not everywhere, and they don't make it too easy. It's a very good tactic to get people who are embedded in cover. We got to talk about this assault rifle. It's totally fascinating to me. It's a bit of a rarity, and it is a real life item. It also featured heavily in the first game. It's the German-made G11, an extremely intriguing weapon that's got its own unique reloading setup and impact absorption within the barrel. Never made it to full mass production or a sort of military tender. I will link to Forgotten Weapons talking all about it, because the engineering within this thing is well ahead of its time. I think that's why they may have used it in the game, because it looks so futuristic. The gun's 40 years old. Alright viewers, let's see how much attention you've been paying, and I haven't revealed what mode I have this in graphically. Now it defaults to performance, not exactly confidence inducing. I switched it over to quality and I stayed in quality. Very good performance all round, great resolution, not too much disturbance. Sometimes you see some jarriness when you move into different areas, but during that combat when the fire and explosions are going off, it's a great quality mode. Very happy with it. Just ignore what you're seeing on screen at the moment. And all of this footage is captured on a base level PlayStation 5. I just want to make an announcement. I know this sounds patronizing and obvious, but I will always include what machine a game is running on in the title of the video. I don't own a Pro yet, but if I were to cover games on that system, I would 200% mention it in the title. A, to get the views, to pull people in who own that system, and of course to keep the viewer informed. They have obviously kept in grabbing and throwing people. It's one of the more satisfying mechanics of the entire game, along with that bullet time, which is instigated by L1. And with that mention of the game sort of pushing all of its late game Rogue City elements in early doors, it totally does that with the armoured and big enemy dudes as well. You don't come across a lot of this stuff until 5 to 10 hours into Rogue City. You may have to use some environmental interaction to get rid of them, or hard ordnance. They are very bullet spongy, and it's cool to have an enemy that just doesn't drop to the ground immediately. I love this rubbish level. That came out wrong. I love this level with the rubbish in it. We also get our first encounter with the flying enemies. Anyways, back to Sandra Bullock's Black Leggings. Enough. Talking of film, this one's got a big RoboCop 2 nuke angle. The drug, it's everywhere. You pick it up with the evidence. On the horrendous RoboCop 3 subject that isn't Peter Weller, and man, does it jar, and they have got him back for this game. It just wouldn't be right without that dude's amazing voice. So awesome to see him still working. I watched Naked Lunch the other day, again, don't ask. And don't even get me started on Buckaroo Banzai. I think they've tweaked those combustible explosions and the smoke effects slightly. They do look a bit more rich and detailed compared to Rogue City. Don't quote me on that one though. The population of enemies in general is just a lot more common. It pushes loads more at you a lot quicker. I actually struggled with the front 45 minutes. I died a couple of times because I just didn't get the message. Playing Far Cry Blood Dragon will do that to you. And what would you say that message was, Coop? It is all about getting up there in the face of the enemy, not crouching because you can't, there isn't any button allocated for it, or just holding back. You need to get up there, throw them around, use the punches and the environments, and do it all as quickly as you can before they unload clip after clip into you.
Copy. Lights out.
The first game gave you a tiny bit of freedom to actually wander around a bit of Detroit and meet people and do like smaller side quests. I helped a guy whose shop was being vandalized. There was a lot of personable, community-based interactions, which I found myself very much enjoying. This has got slightly less of that, but there is a hub and there are people with problems. It's your job to proactively go up and interact with them. And when you do leave that first rabbit hole stage, it will berate you with a list of all the side quests that have now failed and you can't go back to. So it's worth exploring.
Breakthrough! He got me! Confirmed hit!
I do like a lot of the guns that you pick up. It is not always about the handheld milligun that RoboCop possesses. There's massive Desert Eagle-like pistols and rattly old AKs and of course the aforementioned G11. Yeah, I don't always hit what I'm aiming at. You might want to have a look at that sensitivity, but most of that is due to my own incompetence. We still have the throwing of the TV monitors, rear projection ones as well. Slinging a flat screen 1080 at someone wouldn't really hurt them that much, but in the 80s,
I need backup!
On the subject of that ridiculously OP machine pistol, you have these circuit boards. Now, when I saw these, I was very much Joe Pesci GIF. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I hate Connect 4. I've mentioned that. But it actually works. You get different templates. I managed to up the thing so much that I didn't have to reload it, which took my muscle memory by complete surprise and I never recovered from. I.e., I was pumping square all the time and nothing was happening.
I need backup! Open fire!
Now there is something I want to address. This game has what I call charming jank. Although that sounds like the name of a foreign exchange student, this is to do with NPC interactions, voice and dialogue animations. I often, as you know, cycle through dialogue really quickly and there's like a checkered black square issue going on between the screens, which we saw in Rogue City. It's minor, very minor. There's also a great TJ Laser nod here with a comic book side story, which again has a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in it, and that is what saves all of these interactions. To be honest, the team just have a really good sense of what RoboCop dialogue should be about and some of the mundane tasks he gets involved with. As said, it's charming jank.
I paid half for it. That little sucker. He sent you here, didn't he?
We also have some genre-themed music, which I was impressed with. I think this is probably written for the game, and it does sound quite good when you're in the NPC hub and walking around, interacting with vendors and different tasks. You hear some really crazy stuff blaring out.
There's still thought the night will never end. RoboCop. Give me that.
But it's not always comedy jingles. Some of the music, as you saw in the intro, vastly improves the atmosphere and the adrenaline of the game. It bangs. I think that's what the kids are saying nowadays. I was going to say it goes hard, but that's too much of an open window for another Sandra Bullock joke. Stop with that. Then, this was a major pull for me when I saw the game trailered. We get some backstory with Murphy. This is super interesting. It's a different location, it's very outdoorsy, and of course you have a crouch button. You are far more of a flesh target now that you're an average police officer. But it's just great to see these interactions, the uniforms. They've done an okay job on Peter's face, considering. I don't want to show too much of it, and it's good that they've put it a couple of hours into that campaign.
Approach with caution.
We can do this for this.
Give him all you got!
I did want to mention, if you haven't played either of the RoboCop games, this is not a terrible place to start, and price-wise, it may even be cheaper physical. I found this copy for 20 quid. If you really enjoy it, then yes, go to Rogue City by all means. Rogue City is also on Game Pass, and sports some pretty amazing outside visuals and locations as well, loads of which are from RoboCop 1. Now check out this launcher gameplay. Keep an eye on the fire if you can, because I'm convinced there's been some upgrades.
Get your bearings. Engaging. Hold your ground.
Ninth generation gamers, I think for the first time in the industry, are in a really good position for film IPs. Alien Isolation, Aliens Fireteam Elite, Terminator Resistance, RoboCop Rogue City, and now this. And of course I just reviewed Avatar. Holy crap, that game looks good. That does sound like a ranked list. I want to hear if I've missed anything out. We do have the Batman conundrum to deal with. Is Arkham technically a film IP? Starship Troopers, saved you typing.
Contact. Engage. 2-1. Moving forward.
My name was, of course, Couch Coop. Next video should be part 2 of that PS4 Legacy local co-op list. I will link the recent Avatar review and the infamous Rogue City video. I very much look forward to seeing you down there.
Come on, Sal! The Tigers are playing tonight!
I'd buy that for $1.
Something for her to remember you by after you decided to get yourself killed and leave your family all alone, Alex Murphy.
Slime bags detected.
Thank you.
What was that?